Hi, I'm El Dizzle, and my real name is Lawrence, so you can call me either one, Lawrence or El Dizzle.
And I'm Nick. My nickname is Nick, and I go by Nick. And we are here to introduce our very first vlog.
This is kind of our first show, and I guess an introduction where we could talk about Disney. It could be Back to the Future, Forrest Gump, game shows. Um,
Anything that Lawrence knows about,
yeah,
we'll talk about.
anything nostalgic.
Anything nostalgic. So what is it that makes you want to do nostalgia in the vlog?
Because for me, I can go back and for me, I can look at any time period from the 1950s going forward. It could be TV, radio. I think I was mentioning things that I've seen as like the Superman stuff. We could be talking about Superman. We could be it could be like you said. It could be anything Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. It could be something Disney. It could be something that we both agree on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so,
yeah.
I mean, it could be almost, anything nostalgia. I mean, it could be game shows or, the things from our childhood that we watched. I mean, we both grew up in the 1980s, and we were at a point when every show that was of the 1950s was of 30 years of age by the time we were born, and now everything's doubled.
Yeah, we were both born in the 80s.
Right, and
the early 80s.
The Beach Boys were popular in the 80s as well as the 60s. So,
yeah,
of course, if you think about it, there's a Full House episode. This is a way that you'll show how our nostalgic works. It's like even with Full House, Full House did a Beach Boy episode, and DJ Tanner was a big Beach Boy fan as long as her Uncle Jesse and her dad Danny.
Mm-hmm.
So, and of course Joey, who was their best friend, who's not really an uncle, but every fan out there, somebody who thinks they're a fan, will think, "Oh, Joey Gladstone was an uncle." And like,
hold on, you're saying Joey wasn't an uncle?
He wasn't an uncle.
Oh,
he was the best friend of Danny.
Of Danny.
Okay,
but, you're a big Full House fan. I watched Full House when I was growing up, especially because I had a younger sister who was Michelle's age, pretty much.
Right.
So as we grew up, and I was, Stephanie's age, I think, right in between there. So what you're saying, and I really think, I probably knew this, but I never thought about it, but Uncle Joey wasn't their uncle.
Right.
And Danny, for those who maybe watch Fuller House now because they're young and they don't know, Danny was
the dad to DJ Stephanie and Michelle.
Okay. So
and Joey was a best friend out of college.
Out of college? Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think I knew that. Yeah. So Joey lived in the house with them and in the basement.
Right.
Now, why did he live in the basement?
Well, you got to realize that the basement was really their garage.
Oh, okay. Because they lived in San Francisco.
They lived in San Francisco, and I'm assuming it must have been at least a 4-bedroom house.
Was it 3 stories?
It was 2 stories. It was a 2-story house with a garage down below.
And did it have an attic?
And an attic.
And an attic, yeah. And so he lived in the basement or the garage.
Well, we should back up. With Full House, you have to remember that now Joey was living. This all happened all in the first season, so it kind of moved quickly. If you didn't catch one episode to another back in the days of TJ and Freddie.
Yeah, okay.
And so Joey moves in. He lives in the alcove. Apparently, there's an episode in where every Full House character is gotten so busy, and Joey's getting ready to go off on a comedy tour for about a week.
Okay.
So after being there for a couple of months, the kids are going to get in the way. Danny's trying to do his sports stuff for his show because he wasn't doing Wake Up San Francisco in the first season. There's a lot of things in the first season that lead up to the second season. But anyway, so all of that is happening where they're just busy. Joey has no place to have a private place because he's living in a very spacious alcove in the living room.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And so finally, they find, and Danny comes up in an episode where he's off week doing these college things to go and turn the garage into a room of his own with a bathroom and everything else.
Okay. Well, that for our first episode, that's something that we'll cover in future episodes, and just to give you a taste of the things that Lawrence knows about everything pop culture from the 80s and before, and maybe early 90s. You know anything about the culture these days?
A little bit.
Not as much.
Not as much. There's definitely probably a few shows that were of the late 90s to the 80s. Home Improvement was a good 90s show.
Yeah. Yeah, I was a fan of that.
Didn't know too much about Friends, but know a little bit of that. Grew up on watching Cheers, which had a really long thing from the 80s and went into the 90s.
Well, Friends went from 96 to 2006,
something like that.
Yeah, so it's fun if you go back and you watch Friends, because that was actually the first time that I watched Friends was on Netflix. And so if you go back and you binge watch the entire series from first season to 10th season, you will see the change in technology. And from like the very first episode, I don't even think they had cell phones. And then as you go through, you see Chandler get a laptop, which is like this big, and they have. It's pretty fun to watch.
It's the fun part about nostalgia, because you'll see even in TV history, you'll see things that we grew up with, like payphones and really huge computers. And as the time goes on to where we are today with the current stuff in nostalgic. But I think that's what's fun about what we may be doing is we'll do a lot of nostalgic that kind of, in a way, shows then and now, and we might have some of those in our vlog. It may not necessarily be about a TV show.
And Sears just closed, so that's another nostalgic thing that we can. Oh, I'm sorry.
Sad memories.
Yeah,
there's a piece of nostalgic that we could actually.
We won't try to make you sad, but Sears is gone, and so is Toys R Us.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Yeah. That
childhood memories that are
end of an era.
End of an era.
What are we going to do?
But those are good nostalgic things that for anybody who's new to, who have never heard of it, those are things we could definitely talk about. I mean, if you talk about nostalgic, I'm sure that we both have memories of that, and that's something that you don't have to have trivia on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's a good idea. We should do trivia on some stuff. Yeah, because all the things we talk about, we'll do trivia. Give you an option to comment in the comment section. We'll have one thing, at least I'll have one thing at the end of this video to kind of test your knowledge, see if you know what the answer is, or at least part of the answer. But Lawrence doesn't know yet. But I'll stump him. Actually, probably not. He probably knows the answer. But yeah, we'll do trivia. Go Back to the Future.
Yeah. Or to the past.
Or to the past.
The future's never written.
Did it ever confuse you that Back to the Future was always in the past?
I think it did confuse it.
The second one?
I think it definitely confused him. There's definitely a line that Marty says that I don't even know, when you say we go back to the future, what does that even mean?
What does it mean?
What does it mean?
Can you go back to the future? Because if you go to the past and then you go back to where you're from, isn't that the present? Or is it the future? We'll let you think about that one.
Yeah.
But really though, only in the second Back to the Future they actually went to the future, right?
Right.
Like they went to
right.
What year did they go to?
The year 2015, which was only 3 years ago.
Which what were their predictions?
Oh,
the Cubs winning the World Series.
Cubs winning the World Series.
They got close.
They got very close. They were off by about a couple of years.
Yeah.
A couple of years.
But that's something they thought would never happen.
Right. And hoverboards, which are kind of in the works. I think there's a lot of stuff that I think I heard in the commentary. There was like about 50% of their facts they got right or they knew because of what people wanted to make of it, and it was all stuff based on when the film came out in 1989. But
well, look at that knowledge. So that's just more that we'll get to talk to you about. And if you're interested in nostalgia, if you're interested in just going down memory lane with us, then tune into our episodes and subscribe to our channel and like our videos and share them with your friends. And we'll try to put these out once a week, see what we can do. So before we sign off, I want to ask you guys a trivia question. Lawrence has a trivia question also that he's going to ask. And for your answers, just leave them in the comments section and we'll let you know if they're correct or not. So for me, my shirt is Nickelodeon themed. And for those who may not know, we want to ask you, and for those who do know, definitely answer too. But this shirt has all the fun characters from the Nickelodeon shows on it. From the top, my right, your left, and to this direction for each row, leave a comment on who each one of these characters is. Try to stretch it out so you see. I will tell you that my favorite is this squishy guy right here. But there's definitely some nostalgic characters here from Nickelodeon. What do you got, Lawrence?
Well, I've got an original Disneyland shirt. That's actually not original because I got it just last year when Nick and I went off to Disneyland. But,
that's right, I remember that.
But the question I have is going to be kind of a trick question because this is a lot different than a lot of the trivia that a lot of Disney people out there on the blogs and stuff know about. Now, Disneyland was opened or dedicated on July 17th, 1955. Everybody knows that. But what I want to know is what date did the general public actually go on within that time frame? There's some documentaries that actually have talked about that particular date, but it's not July 17th.
Do you know? I don't think I do. Well, we'll just have to see. Leave your comments and let us know. And we'll give you the answer a little bit later in the comment section. So that's all for now. Enjoy. I think that's a good start for us. What do you say?
Yep, sounds good.
All right. Well, do you have a sign off?
Well, I'm Lawrence Dizzle, and we'll see you on our next video.
All right. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.